Have you ever wondered that after a long period of not having sex, all of a sudden she actually gets excited and you actually go into through the process of having sex, and then all of a sudden when it's all done, it feels underwhelming and it feels like it was probably the worst idea to have sex, even though you've had months and months waiting for that opportunity to have sex. So, in this video, we're going to be reacting to another post from Reddit where a gentleman goes on to say that his partner gave him that gave him the vibes that things were going to be happening. And when he did so, now we're just going to read you through this. Well, not read it, at least you can follow along. I want to summarize exactly what you're saying. So he says he just had sex. Wish I didn't. Now, she was all over him all that day. And when they got to bed, they ripped off the clothes. And as she laid there, she laid on her side. And then she looked away. So she looked away. She says, okay, put it in. He puts it in. And then she says, okay, now don't move. Now he's got his tool. It's really hard. It's ready. I mean, I don't really know how long he's been waiting since the last time, but all of a sudden he just has to lay there. And while she took a vibrator, and then for 10 minutes he was there while she was trying to finish. And she goes on to say, "I'm kind of sore. Are you done? How about we, get you next time?" So it was really about her. And again, this is quite alarming, especially when there's been a massive dry spell, and then all of a sudden it's only about there. Now there's a few things that you have to consider, and I'm considering, like I said, I speculate with some of these posts. So one of the things that there's a thing that we call sex to impress, which is where most guys, when they think about sex, they don't come out of servitude when it comes to sex. So it's all about serving her. And while it's a good thing in terms of you want her to orgasm, and you want you to orgasm, and it's a mutual encounter, most people they take the servitude to the next extreme, where they really discount their needs within that interaction. That if I can show her that I can give her the best orgasm, then I will feel good about myself, which is a wrong mindset to get into a sexual encounter. Because when you do, you have to get into the encounter wanting to, yes, pleasure her, but more importantly, have a sense of connection, have a sense of validation. And those are the metrics that you need to be measuring your encounters by. Now, if you measure it based off of orgasm, it's a false metric, because you have to imagine this person can give themselves an orgasm. So your orgasm ability, or giving an orgasm abilities, are completely useless in the grand scheme of things. And I'm sorry to say that way, but they are. So you have to be willing to give something that is more than the orgasm. Therefore, it becomes amazing. Now, in this case, because he's probably taken the frame of sex to impress, she in her mind now thinks that sex is all about her and it's all about her needs. Your needs are not important because you've indicated that on previous experiences. So therefore, she doesn't feel like this is wrong. And that's one way of looking at it. And then the other way of looking at it is the fact that maybe, she was sore and she felt like, I'm trying to give you as much as I can. So maybe she felt like she was actually doing a favor. She's got no idea how the male experiences sex. So to be fair, I mean, she's had probably experience, so she must know. But just giving her a benefit of the doubt, maybe she thought, I'm just giving you this little bit is probably enough, but it wasn't enough, obviously. In this case, personally, if I was in this situation, there's a few things I would do, especially when she was showing him indicators during the day when she was all over him. I would have been slowing things down. Now, this is one of the things I speak to guys within Reigniting Men program, is that when a situation where there's been no sex for a long period of time, and it looks like she's now in a place where she wants to have sex, usually because it hasn't happened for a long time, there's this sense of urgency that creeps in. You start trying to get this thing done as quick as possible because she might change her mind, and then she might feel like I need to rush this because I feel a level of anxiety because I haven't done it for a long time. What if I'm going to mess this up? So there's both of you experiencing this sense of anxiety, and then as you go into it, mentally you're fixated on so many different things that it doesn't become about the connection. It doesn't become about anything else. You end up focusing on the orgasm, and it's really clumsy. It's really unfulfilling when you both leave, and therefore it then compounds on the negativity around sex. So it becomes a important thing to slow things down. If you slow things down, it actually helps her and you to really, while this anxiety is going, it helps the anxiety to calm down or whatever mental things that is going on, and you get the sense of now wanting to feel exactly what's going on. So the feelings that you're experiencing, how your body is feeling, and that's the feeling side of things, and then allowing to you to have good eye contact, having good communication on what is going on. You know, is this comfortable? Can and like I said, it's not even during sex because that's probably too far. Way before, when she was all over him, slow things down. You know, look into her eyes, use silence to intensify that feeling of seduction. And to a certain extent, if I already knew she was, or at least if I had an idea that she was sore, I would not even go to bed expecting to have sex. And to be honest with you, if I'd gone and put it in and she tells me not to move, I think it would have taken me 60 seconds, maybe 90 seconds to the most before I said, you know what, I appreciate that we want you to connect, and this for me just does not feel like connection to me. I am willing just not to do anything right now. I can maybe help you have an orgasm if that's what you want and you need right now. But in terms of us having an encounter where we feel connection, I don't feel it, and I'm okay with it. If you don't want me in the room, that's all good. I'm going to walk out. And really, it gives you the opportunity to open up a new conversation, which is, you know, why did we have this dynamic prepared? Where was this encounter going this direction? And why was she uncomfortable? Why was she so, you know, and how can we mitigate this from never happening again? And how can we focus this encounters on connection and feeling validated rather than the orgasm? So there's a few things that were at play here, and there's a few things that we can really address in terms of the relationship. On him particularly, I'm guessing he's always had sex to impress, so he wants to impress her, he wants her to have an orgasm, he wants to prove to her that how great he is at giving orgasms, for example. And I think that's one of the factors, and it is built in her mindset that, you know, sex is to serve her rather than it being something that they both share that is amazing. So there's a few things going on here. And again, like I said, I'm speculating. I'm hoping the guy sees this post or sees this video and corrects me and says, no, that's not exactly what happened, and then we can really fall. I want to actually do these videos until somebody from Reddit says this, and if it's their post, I want them to correct me or say whatever they need to say, and then do a follow-up video, and that would be amazing actually to do that. So yeah, well, like I said, with these, I mean, after the whole interaction, he goes on to say that he felt used, and he felt like he was just some sort of stick. And again, it's not a nice feeling, and I think it's even a worse feeling to experience that and not communicate with your partner, and you feel like the only place that you can communicate is Reddit. So for me, I feel for this guy that there is some passive thing going on where she's dominant within that relationship and he's quite passive. So he's really taken his needs off the table, and he's not very good at communicating what his needs are within that relationship, and really being confident about the fact that those are the needs that she needs to meet in order for it to be a successful relationship. Because in this case, she felt it was okay just to leave him hanging, and that's not something that is okay within a relationship. If you are going to meet my needs, like even if you're sore, and I'm just going to give an example. If it was my partner, if she was sore, she would most likely decide to hand give me hand relief or figure out a way of getting me to the point where I finish. So again, this is was a terrible situation, and again, I'm speaking like my partner. She's got fibromyalgia. She's already in pain and stuff, but she still manages to figure out ways of making our relationship whole. So, and this is somebody who, like I said, if somebody is dedicated to you, then they understand that there's that the point of connection, the point of validation is more important than the actual orgasm. But at the same time, that is part of it. The orgasm is just part of the experience. So thank you very much, guys, and we are going to be releasing